Hi, hello, and welcome again to my channel, Chris's Caribbean Delights. Now, today I'm going to, this episode it has to do with pork loins, pork tenderloins. I'm going to walk you through the preparation and eventually the roasting of a stuffed pork tenderloin. That's a very tender piece of meat that I think comes from somewhere in the back where there's not a lot of motion, and it's a very tender piece of meat that you can stuff and you can enjoy. It's not chewy or anything, it just melts in your mouth. So before further ado, let's go to our pork tenderloins. So here we have two pork tenderloins, and they come like this. You can trim them. You trim them off. Trim off the excess fat. Always trim off the excess fat that there is on there. There's not a lot of fat on here. It's a very lean piece of meat. But you just want the edges, and anything that's like stringy, you want to take that off. You want to take off all this and also there's this little film, this little white shiny part here. You also need to take that off. So you do this, you just run your knife under there, then keep your knife under the skin, this little shiny skin, and you just run your knife all the way down to the end and it comes off. So just get your knife under. And I'm using a deboning knife. You can also use a fillet knife to do this. I'm using a deboning knife because what I need to do next is I'll butterfly it and spread it out so that I can stuff it. And it will be stuffed with spinach and provolone cheese and maybe some currants in there. You can put whatever stuffing you feel like. You can do sausage, you can do another type of meat, you can do shrimp. It's endless. The possibilities are endless. So just continue trimming off all your fat and your silver skins, and there's not much of that here. Okay, so and I have two of them, so I'll do the second one, and then I'll be back. Okay, now once you have gotten all your silver skin off, and you've trimmed all your fat and all and stuff like that, it's time for you to do the butterflying. You also can trim off like this the narrow ends. You can keep that for something else. You put that in whatever, maybe a stew or something, and you just even it off just so that it looks uniform. Yeah. So you take your knife and you're just going to open it up, and you're going to go straight across, almost halfway up. You're going to go straight across from one end to the other, right? You open that up, and then you make another incision right next to that one, but you don't go through to the other side because it's going to create holes and your filling is going to fall out. So you have to be careful not to do that. You make another incision a little above that, and just open it out. Another incision just above that one, and just open it out. You can turn it on the other side and you can do the same. Just make sure not to go too deep so that you can penetrate the other side. So just have to keep it on the thickest parts. As I was saying, some parts might be thicker than some, so you just put slight incisions there, right there, so that they can open up. All right, and then we're gonna pound this out with a mallet to make it really flat, and so that we can really handle it and get it to roll properly. So this is all opened out. So I just take a piece of plastic wrap, and you're using the flat side of the mallet. This is the tenderizing side, and the meat is already tender, so we don't need to use this side. We just need to use the flat side so that we can spread it out and flatten it properly. Spreads out thinly. Cool. And then we'll do the second one. But first, once I have this nice and flat and it's ready to be stuffed, I'm doing a simple stuffing. Just do spinach with provolone cheese and maybe some currants. So I'll just get my stuffing together, and I'll be back. First, you must also try to season the inside. Once you finish pounding it out. This is my bullion seasoning, and my complete seasoning. That's about all I need to put on here. So you put the complete seasoning or whatever, salt and pepper is good. If you don't want the fancy stuff, some garlic powder, So this one has everything in it, so I just sprinkle some of that on there. And if you need some heat, which I always love my heat, I'm going to put some cayenne flakes in here on it. Some cayenne flakes. Okay. All right, so this is ready for stuffing. I'm going to get my spinach and my stuff together, and I'll be back. Okay, great. So, great, because I'm going to grate some garlic on here, which would enhance this flavor immensely. Grate a couple figs of garlic, a couple cloves of garlic on here, on the meat of itself. Okay, just spread the garlic off a little bit. Make sure it's all on there. Yes, yes. Get it all on the ends. Spread it out. All right. So we got pepper flakes, complete seasoning, and some bullion powder. Now I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of parsley little bit of chopped parsley on here. And then I'm going to use my cheese. You can let it overlap, not a problem. Not a problem. Let it overlap. Right? One more piece can fit on there. Right here. Oh, you gotta spread this out here. Cool. Now, our rinsed spinach leaves. We're gonna lay our spinach leaves down. I'll just throw them on there. Just arrange them so that they can, they all fit nicely. With the stalk, without the stalk, it's all up to you. You can also use frozen spinach. You can also use frozen spinach in the box. Just let it thaw and just squeeze all the moisture out of it before you put it on the meat, if you're using the frozen spinach. Okay? And my raisins, I rehydrated them. I'm going to just put a few on here. Just for that little extra sweet, that little hint of goodness. So like if it's a prize, you're winning. Okay? Right, so, and what I do also, I just love to get my spinach, a little bit of seasoning, so that everything has a little flavor. Right? Everything has a little flavor. And what comes to mind, keep it moist in there, a little bit of EVOO, extra virgin olive oil on the spinach of itself. Okay? And then we're going to try to roll it back to the way it was, so to speak. You keep it very tight, just keep it tight, and you roll. Keep all the product in there, making sure the product stays in. Okay. And go all the way out to the end and keep rolling very tight. Very, very tight. Tighten it up. Make sure the product stays in there. And here you go. There you go. If it peeks out, not a problem, because we're going to tie this sucker up and get it ready for roasting. So, let me just wash my hands. Get some twine. Get some cooking twine. And we'll tie it up. I'll show you the tying process. Okay, I'll be back. So we're going to tie it up now. I'm going to make a few knots here. Not too much pressure, because you don't want everything to start running out, right? And you just make like a slip knot, bring it down a few inches away, from that. And you do another. So basically, you're just taking the twine, put it between your forefinger and your thumb, and spinning it around, and you get that belly, that circular area, and you slip it in. You slip it onto the meat. So the forefinger and the thumb, turn it around, and then you get this loop, I should call it a loop, and you just slip it in here. Okay. Just pull it, tighten it, and I keep my string in a cup or a bowl or something, so it wouldn't be flying all over the place when I'm pulling on it. So you go like that, turn it around, get that loop, lift up, slide it under, and pull to a tight knot, a stiff knot, and then you can come on the other end and do the same. So now I've cut, leaving a piece out here. Wrap again. You can tie it off with whatever knots you're accustomed to making. Just tie it off with a knot. You have a few pieces, going to escape and stuff like that. But what I do, I would usually just cut the edge, and we can use that for something, just to straighten it out. Straighten it out on both sides. Slip a piece of twine under there. Just to keep the edges together. Might look like a lot of work, but not really. Okay. So, all right. So we're all tied up here, and it's ready for searing. Just secure it. That's all you need to do. Secure it. Make sure that the filling doesn't fall out. Okay, and we can. I'll do the second one, and then we'll go. I'll show you. Well, another thing is, once you finish doing this and tying it up and everything, season the top. You season the outside now, because you didn't put any seasoning on the outside in the beginning, so you just season the inside. So we just cover it with some all-purpose, some complete seasoning. You can put whatever seasoning you want on here. Okay, some complete seasoning, and that's it. You're done. I'll wrap it in this plastic wrap. So that it will keep its shape. Okay, so it will keep its shape. So we'll be back. I'll be back when I'm going to saute and put them in the oven, because this is going to go in the oven maybe at not maybe, but at 425. After you finish browning the outside, 425 for about 40 to 45 minutes, or until the temperature is 160, 165, the internal temperature. Okay, so I'll be back in the next step.